Hello, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing my October TBR. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about all of my October reading plans, which include a lot of different spooky things. I'm working on so many exciting vlogs this month. I'm also going to be letting you know information about the booktube, talking about the October and November selections. And I'm also going to be letting you know all about my Patreon exclusive readathon that I'm going to be hosting later this month. I'm also going to be pulling out 2 more prompts out of the Patreon prompt jar, so there's so much to look forward to in this video. Alright, so let's just get right into it because I'm sure the first thing that you would like to know is information about the book troupe. In the month of October, we are going to be reading The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin, and I am so excited that we're going to be reading this for the month of October because it feels like it'll be the perfect spooky October read. Because all I really know about this book is that we're following a protagonist who I think that she's like an influencer and she's going to be moving into this kind of like creepy haunted house. It says most people wouldn't buy an infamous murder house to renovate for fun, but Sarah Slade is not most people. It sounds like it's gonna be a really fun time. I can't wait to read this. It was also recently a Book of the Month copy, so if you do have Book of the Month, you can get your hands on a copy through Book of the Month. I'm really excited not only for this to be our book club pick for this month, obviously, but I'm also really excited for the live show because this month I'm gonna have 2 friends on this live show that I've never had on the book troupe before, and that's gonna be Meg from Meg with Books as well as Sydney from Sid Bookworm, and I'm so freaking excited to have both of them on my channel and to have them both be book troupe co-hosts. I think it's gonna be such a fun time. I hope that this is a book that we all love, and I will have their channels linked down below if you want to go and check them out. And then I'm also so excited to let you know about the November book troupe pick. So I had my Patreon vote on these 3 books here. These are all new releases that I am very excited about, and I'm so excited to let you know that Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead ended up winning that poll, and this is a pick that I am very excited about because I do love Ashley Winstead as an author. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is a book that she wrote that is one of my all-time favorite thrillers, and so I've been really looking forward to getting my hands on this one. This one actually publishes October 3rd, I think, so it's going to be publishing very soon. This is another one that sounds so interesting. The premise on Goodreads says that this is a gothic southern thriller about a killer haunting a small Louisiana town where 2 outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. And it says this is for fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark, which is a combination of books that I'm just like, what? Like, what am I getting myself into with this one? And I'm so excited to let you know that my co-host for the month of November is also going to be another booktube friend who I've never had on the book troupe yet, and that is Elias from the channel Elias. Elias is a booktube friend that I've been friends with for like years now, and I've had him on some live shows before, but I've never had him on the book troupe before. So I'm so excited to finally have Elias as a book troupe co-host. I think it's gonna be so great. I will have Elias's channel linked down below as well if you want to go and check out all of his videos, but I can't wait, and I really hope that this is a book that we both end up loving. And so that is all of the information about the book troupe. Maybe it's time to pick a prompt out of the jar. If you're new to my channel, you might not know what this is, but at the end of last year, I had my Patreon submit me a bunch of different prompts so that I could draw them out of a jar throughout the year, and you can still add to that jar if you would like to. I'll have the link down below if you wanted to add any prompts to this, because at the end of every month, I do print off the new ones and cut them out and put them in here. But I'm very excited to see what we'll end up getting this month. Okay, let's just go right in for that first one. What is it gonna be? I'm scared. Okay, so this is from Maddie, and she said to read the longest book on your TBR. The longest as in the amount of pages? Oh my gosh. Maddie, what is the longest book on my TBR? Of course I would pull this one in the month of October, right? When I already have like a massive TBR. Let's see, how many pages? Okay, well, this one is 532 pages, the most fun we ever had. Holy shit, do I have anything longer than 532 pages? Oh my gosh, okay, you know what I just got in the mail is Black River Orchard, and this is by Chuck Wendig, and this book is massive. Do you think it's more than 530 pages? It is. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, this book is literally 620 pages. Okay, I don't think I have anything on my TBR right now that's longer than 620 pages. Holy shit. Am I gonna be reading this book this month? Yeah, it looks like I am. It looks like I am. I better put this audiobook on hold at my library right the fuck now because, dude, this is a beast. No, but you know what? This is actually a great thing because I was trying to figure out a way to fit this into my TBR at some point this fall, because this is the new book from Chuck Wendig, who is the author of The Book of Accidents, which is a book that I read, what was it, like 2 years ago now? And I really loved that one. And that one was pretty chunky and long too. I think that one was over 500 pages. This man is just known for being like very wordy. Like he just has very long horror novels. But the last one he published, I was really into. So I'm hoping that it'll be the same with this one. All right, let's go ahead and go in for prompt number 2. What is it gonna be? Oh, okay, this is from Books by and By. She said to read a book less than 200 pages. Oh my gosh, didn't that work out perfectly? Because I love that I got these two together, like read the longest book I have on my TBR and then read something under 200 pages. Okay, thanks for looking out for me. Wow, what is something that I have that's less than 200 pages? Oh, you know what it could be? I don't want to spoil an upcoming video that I'm working on. Okay, well that's perfect because the book that I'm looking at is 124 pages on the e-reader, and this is a horror novel called This Is Where We Talk Things Out, and I've never really heard of this too much before. I mean, I have heard my friend Marcy really loves this book, and that's where I originally heard about it, but this is a horror novella that I'm actually going to be reading for one of the videos that I'm working on this month where I read your horror recommendations, and this one got recommended to me quite a few times, so I ended up downloading the ebook because I wasn't able to find a copy of like a paperback, like literally anywhere. I was looking on Amazon, I was looking at all these different places, and so I just went ahead and downloaded the ebook instead. But yeah, this one is about 124 pages, so it would meet that requirement of reading a book under 200 pages. So that worked out perfectly. So thank you so much to Maddie and to Books by and By for recommending me those prompts from my Patreon. That worked out perfectly, and I'm so glad that I'm gonna get to these 2 books this month. All right, so as I mentioned just now, I'm gonna be working on a video this month where I'm reading your horror recommendations. Over on my YouTube community post, I asked for some horror book recommendations, and y'all really came through. Y'all really came through. Like, there were so many recommendations. I was actually overwhelmed. Usually when I do these videos, I like to break them up into 2 separate videos because I get so many recommendations, but I don't think I'm gonna have the time in the month of October to do 2 separate videos, so I picked 5 books from that recommendations list, and I'm so excited. The main book that I'm gonna be reading for that video that got recommended the most by like a landslide is The September House. This book has been recommended to me so many freaking times. It's kind of crazy because I was originally planning on reading The September House for another video that I was working on this month, but it got recommended so many times that I was like, okay, I have to include it in the like your horror recommendations video because it got recommended so many times. I can't ignore that. And so I'm really excited to be reading The September House for that video. I don't know too much about The September House, to be honest. I've heard that it's like a little bit weird and a little bit campy and like goofy, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great time. And then, you know, I do want to keep some of the TBR a secret still, but I did just let you know that I'm gonna be reading the book This Is Where We Talk Things Out. That's a horror novella that got recommended quite a bit to me as well, so that's another book that I'm gonna be reading for that video. But I'm gonna be reading a total of 5 books. I'm gonna keep the rest of them a secret for now, just keep it close to the heart. But I'm really excited for all of the different things that I'm gonna be reading for that video. I think you guys recommended some really fun stuff, so I can't wait to get to that. And then this month I'm also gonna be working on a haunted house themed horror reading vlog, which I think is gonna be so much fun, and this is something that I've been actually wanting to do for years, but very recently I've noticed that there are so many haunted house horror books coming out that I'm interested in, so I just decided, oh my god, why not like loop them all together into one reading vlog and we will just have a fun spooky time. So originally I was gonna read The September House for this video because it's another haunted house book. I'm gonna be reading these 3 books instead, so I am gonna include The Stranger Upstairs in that reading vlog because this is a haunted house horror book. Like, how perfect that I can tie in the book troupe with this video here. So I'm very excited to get to this one. I'm also going to be reading A Haunting on the Hill because this is a arc that I have that I'm just, oh my god, I'm so excited for this book because it's a fictional book, but it still takes place in the same universe as The Haunting of Hill House. So I'm like, how freaking cool is that this is actually gonna be like Hill House, like Shirley Jackson's Hill House is the location in this book, but we follow like different characters and it's like a different story. So I just think that's so exciting, and so I'm definitely gonna be reading this one for that vlog. And then I'm also gonna be reading The Handyman Method by Nick Cutter and Andrew F. Sullivan, and I think this one also does involve a haunted house because it says we follow this family who moves into an unfinished development community and cracks begin to emerge in both their new residence and their lives. I don't know, it sounds sounds like it's gonna have the haunted house vibe to it, so I'm gonna include this in that reading vlog. Something that I'm really excited about that I'm gonna be working on this month is a Patreon exclusive video where I'm gonna be reading the book Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele, and this is one that I literally cannot wait. Jordan Peele, if you didn't know, he's a movie director, and he's a director of a lot of my favorite horror films like Get Out, Us, and Nope. And so I am so excited about the fact that he's gonna be publishing this horror anthology where I don't know if Jordan Peele actually wrote anything himself in this, or if he's just collecting a bunch of stories from different Black authors and putting them all together in this anthology. But either way, I am so excited. I think it's gonna be so great, and I thought this would be the perfect, you know, book to do for a Patreon exclusive reading vlog this month, so that's what I'm gonna do. I really think if at any point in time you have considered signing up for my Patreon, I think this month would be the time to do it, because I'm gonna have this fun Jordan Peele reading vlog experience, but then I'm also going to be hosting my third round of Screaming Color this month. And if you have no idea what that means, Screaming Color is a Patreon exclusive 48-hour readathon that I host 3 times a year. It's going to be happening on Saturday, October 21st and Sunday, October 22nd. And basically the theme of this readathon is colors. And so for this round, we're going to be reading books with red on the cover, and that's pretty much anything goes. Like anything with red, it doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter what shade of red, anything with red on the cover, you can read it for the readathon. So there's no real like intimidating prompts or anything like that. It's pretty simplistic. It's just like books with red on the cover, read it, it's fun. And so I'm really excited to be hosting another round of this readathon. And during this readathon over on my Patreon, I host 10-hour-long reading sprints on that first day, and we do reading sprints as well as trivia. So I like to do like Taylor Swift lyrics trivia. We do trivia for like books with red on the cover and movie posters with red on the cover and like distorted movie posters and different things like that. It's a really fun time, and it's 10 hours long. I start at about 11 a.m. Pacific time and go all the way until 9 p.m. And so that's the first day. And then on the second day, I do about 5 to 6 hour long reading sprints where we just try to finish up all of our reads for the readathon. I think it's going to be such a great time. And if you're wondering which books I'm planning to read for the readathon, one of the ones that I for sure want to get to is Her Body and Other Parties, because we have this amazing red dress on the cover, and this is a book that I've been meaning to get around to for quite some time now. And this book is actually a collection of 8 short stories, and it says this author demolishes the borders between psychological realism and science fiction, comedy and horror, fantasy and fabulism. I've been curious about this one for such a long time, so I can't wait to get to this one. This is the one that I'm for sure gonna be reading during that readathon. And then I also really would like to read the book Chlorine. This is gonna be one that I'm gonna be checking out from my library. My library does have a copy of it, and this is one, like, there's so much red on the cover, so I felt like it would be perfect for this readathon. And this is a book that was actually put on my radar because of my friend Kayla from Books and Lala. She read this book during Summerween, and she was kind of talking about how it's this like really weird book that involves this girl who does like swimming, and it might be like mermaid vibes. Like, I don't really know. I don't know anything about this book, clearly, nothing, not a single thing, but I kind of want to jump in knowing absolutely nothing. So I am planning on checking out this book from my library to read it during this readathon, and I do have access to the audiobook from Libro, so I'm going to be listening to it on audio as well. But there's also a number of different like manga and graphic novels that I'm really into that might have red on the cover. Like, I know a lot of Junji Ito has a lot of red on the cover, so I think I'm just going to allow myself that weekend to do some mood reading, like whatever I feel in the mood for, and if it has red on the cover, we'll just give it a go. I mean, I honestly feel like so many of the books on my TBR this month have red on the cover, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I did not plan for this, but it always just works out that way, where I have like a bunch of books all of a sudden on my TBR with whatever color that I'm currently dealing with for Screaming Colors, so like it works out. Speaking of red, another book that I have on my TBR this month that I'm going to be checking out from my library, and this is hopefully, if I have enough time, I would love to make this happen this month, that I'm going to be reading Billy Summers by Stephen King, and I would love to do an entire reading vlog dedicated to reading Billy Summers by Stephen King, because this is a book by Stephen King that I've been really interested in reading for a long time now, and I've been getting so many comments from people saying that they want more Stephen King reading vlogs from me, or that, you know, they found my channel because of the Stephen King reading vlogs and they would love to see more of that. And so I do think Billy Summers would be a fun read to read this October. You'll have to let me know if you have read Billy Summers and you think it's a good book to do an entire reading vlog dedicated to this book. I'm going to be prioritizing my other vlogs first, but if I do have the time to fit this in this month, then that's going to be happening. And I'm really looking forward to it because I've heard really great things about Billy Summers, and this is just one that I'm really intrigued by, so we'll have to see if I can make this work. But yeah, those are all of my set in stone TBR plans. I do have an entire stack of other books that I would like to get to if I have the time, because, you know, it's October, and October is the perfect time of year for me to be reading, like, you know, horror books and like thriller books and just things that I've been excited about all year. I know I would really love to read The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe, because the TV show with Mike Flanagan's TV show is going to be coming out on Netflix this month. I think it's going to be coming out like October 12th or something, so if I can try to squeeze in this book before then, or maybe not even the entire book, but maybe just the short story of The Fall of the House of Usher, just so I can go into the show knowing some things, I think that would be really ideal. But I would love to be able to include this in my TBR this month. I also have, you know, the new Mona Awad. This one's just been sitting on my shelves staring at me for quite some time now, so I would love to be able to get to this one. I also have Night of the Living Queers, which honestly, I very much might consider reading this on Halloween. Like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing in terms of like Halloween reading yet. I haven't really decided. That's a little far out for me right now, but this is very much a possibility of something that I could read on Halloween. Another possibility for Halloween is the Josh Malerman Spin a Black Yarn. This is a collection of novellas from Josh Malerman that I've just been like itching to read. So maybe on Halloween weekend, maybe I can just do like a collection of like short stories that are like horror. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that and if that's something you'd be interested in, because I do think I should vlog Halloween weekend and like reading something. So I'm thinking about these. And then I also just have some thrillers that I'm still dying to read that I just haven't had time to fit them into my TBR. We have The Fiction Writer and then Mr. Magic, which these are just, they're two books that I want to get to so badly, but I just haven't really had a lot of time because of all the different reading vlogs that I'm working on. So hopefully if I don't end up getting to these this month, then I can get to them sometime very soon after. But yeah, those are all of my October plans. You'll have to let me know if you've read any of the books that I'm talking about in this video, then let me know what your thoughts are on them. And also to everybody that's wondering, because I'm getting a lot of questions and a lot of DMs about it, is if me and Olivia are going to be hosting another round of Camp Weekend Ween this year, because we usually do that around Halloween or like October, you know, late October time. And the answer to that is no, we're not going to be hosting another round of Camp Weekend Ween this year, because I think October is already like really saturated with a lot of different readathons going on. And I think for me, a lot of the whole point of like Summer Ween or Winter Ween is to like bring Halloween vibes to a different time of year where we don't usually celebrate Halloween. So we will not be hosting another round of Camp Weekend Ween this October, and that's why I decided to host Screaming Color in the month of October. That way I still have a little like weekend readathon to look forward to. So if you'd like to join my Patreon and be a part of that readathon, you can join my Patreon. It can be the lowest tier and you can still participate in the readathon. And Patreon also lets you do a free week trial now on my lowest tiers, so you can always sign up for a free trial just to get a taste of, you know, what my Patreon's all about before you even have to pay anything. So that's always an option. But I am excited to let you know that Winter Ween will be happening again in January, and I will be coming at you with an announcement about that very soon, so stay tuned. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of October. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!